I'm not sick. Marnie's not sick. But an angel has come in Beck. Welcome back, Beck.
And
Beck.
we love Beck.
Thank you. For a second, I made it look like you disappeared and then reappeared.
Actually, I'm going to take
Like a
a
magic
photo of
trick.
you and Gonzo because it's so cute.
So, yeah.
Gonzo's holding this thing together.
Tom is in the chat as well. Tom is in bed
Yeah.
with the flu. I wonder where we were. I'll never understand that. There would be two people who I think would know. That would be Tom and Beck. Maybe Beck doesn't know, though. Do you have an idea of why when it came up, it was just a freeze frame on us?
I think, so there's a thing, this is all run through NDI, all the camera feeds are like the internet, and I think there was just a lag.
Okay.
Evan might be downloading, I don't know, torrents of, who can say, what's he watching?
Yeah.
The Wire.
Tom, there's no obligation for you to film yourself being sick.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to stress that. And people are saying that in the chat. Can he film him being sick? No, I don't want to see it. I've seen too many. Just so you know, Beck, Tom, when he's sick, will film himself vomiting because he's worried at some point someone will go prove it.
Oh my God. That feels like I used to do that. I used to worry when I went to like the nurse's office at school
Yeah.
that people wouldn't believe me. So I would feel like I'd have to really put it on.
Hell yeah.
So I get that. I understand that. And obviously everyone's policing Tom's
Sickness.
Does he get sick leave only if the chat approves?
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's how Coles works as well when he was there as well, the chat. Shall we just crack in? I think we're good to go.
Great.
You good?
Yeah.
July 17th. Everyone is sick. Sick with the flu, sure, but also with leather poisoning, because that's what footballs are made of. So it's time to grab your favourite Sharon and...
Bounce that pill.
I like that one.
I'm so in my head. It's the hardest part of my job.
Paddy came down with the illness. Tom came down with it as well. Two people are left standing. One, our chief football reporter and Quill Award winner, Marnie Vinyl. Hi.
Hello.
I'm sorry I had a burp come up as I was saying
that was
that.
a fun little noise.
That's
I don't
right.
think the microphone would have picked that up, but it was fun for me to witness.
Every year that you vary into your 30s, this will become more and more prevalent. You'll become more and more aware of a thing called
Indigestion?
Gaviscon.
Oh. What's Gaviscon?
What's Gaviscon? I'm sorry for
And we're also joined by someone who can do both the roles of Tom and Paddy in one evening for us at late notice. I can't stress enough how important and how lovely it is. Beck's worked a whole day, but Beck is going to come in and do our live stream for us. Hi, Beck.
Hello.
And not just Beck.
No.
And
Gonzo.
Say hello, Gonzo.
Gonzo should be having his night meal. I'm not going to say the word, but is politely sitting in the room for us.
Politely sitting. But I'm surprised you don't know Gaviscon. I'm angling now that I'm just going to say it a bunch of times. I love Gaviscon. This is a great platform to talk about how much Gaviscon means to me and to our community of old
People.
Oh, effectively relieve the symptoms of heartburn and indigestion.
Yeah, and we're not brought by them yet.
Yet.
But it just says to me, I love the footy. And how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right.
We've just done, not only have you been staying up all night watching the tennis and watching sports, but also doing your normal coverage, but also you were social media manager today as well.
Yeah.
You were in charge of
I had to navigate your Android phone, which was a pain in the ass. But
now,
we did
okay,
it.
great. You've gone my Android phone. This is a work of art.
I don't think it is.
The Google Pixel. You and Tom are both disrespectful of Android, but this Google Pixel is a work of art. And I'll leave it there.
Okay. And if Google would like to sponsor us,
Hell yeah.
I will never say a bad word.
Gaviscon Google. There's something in that. Google's
Google's
yes, you've had a massive week covering everything. Does it feel to you like there's a lot of sports on?
Yeah. I remember actually there was a fellow footy journo, that said in the press box a few weeks ago, we can't be tired, it's only round, whatever. And I was very politely like, some of us don't only work AFL men's football.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks has been State of Origin, which has been just the best. Matildas, Wimbledon, bunch of other stuff. Did go-karting story this week.
Wrexham were here.
Wrexham were here. Just a lot.
I feel very peripherally aware of how everyone in the AFL media takes 2 weeks off at this time of year that coincides with school holidays. Like Jared Waitley just leaves and just goes away. And everyone's like, where'd you go, you know? But we power through.
Yeah.
You got to be here. You got to do it. Because you know why?
Why?
Because there's news. And it's time for the news with Marnie Vinyl. Hit it.
I was doing something like our story.
Big news week, but also in the chat that we had on Wednesday night, lots of people coming into bat for the Google Pixel, and I appreciate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a fantastic phone.
I think it's just one of those things where it's like you're so accustomed to your technology.
It is.
As soon as even just navigating TikTok on your phone, it was very tricky.
How do you go back on an iPhone?
What do you mean?
Like, you're on a page and you're like, I want to go back to the page I was on.
Like, if I open what do you mean?
Like you go into a photo on Instagram. How do you, you're in a picture. How do you go back to it?
Arrow.
You press the button, right? Because on this, you just swipe left, you swipe left to go back.
What if you have clumsy fingers?
Not me. No, I'm the Beethoven. Did he play piano?
Yeah.
I'm the Beethoven of phone usage.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. What's our leading news story, Marns?
It feels it would be remiss to start with anything else than Essendon's injury crisis worsens with another player going down on Wednesday. So
Really?
Essendon now only have 4 fit players left on their playing list who will not be selected for this side. So they have 17 injuries.
17?
Yeah, 17. So
Out of 42, is it? Is that how much long?
okay, so Essendon have played 41 players. Their senior list is 47, and they'll be debuting another player this Thursday, who is Liam McMahon. So he'll debut on Thursday, and he will be the 13th debutant fielded by the Bombers this season. That's equal to Fitzroy in 1991 for the most debutants from an established club in a season.
Who was that debutant again?
Liam McMahon?
Liam McMahon. So he was, from my understanding, he was working in the merch store, yes?
Yeah, so he's a mid-season draft.
Literally, right? Okay, oh my God.
Oh, you're
I
making
was doing
a
a joke, but
sorry.
He's literally, he's like straight in.
Yeah, they all are. They're all babies. There's so many teenagers just running around. But yeah, that's after Nate Caddy was taken out earlier in the week. We saw Nick Martin and Will Setterfield and Ben Hobbs all coming out of the side that played against Richmond. And that went really well with all of those fit players.
Yeah. That's so at this point, does it become someone's fault? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there that's so many injuries. Like, I'm sure like the more that they happen, the more fatigue it puts on everyone else, thus there's more injuries and things like that. But yeah, unbelievable.
No, totally. So it is very much a mounting problem where it's like so much pressure's not the word I'm looking for, but is put on the senior players when you have more senior players going out, and then their bodies get even more worn out. And then, all of these young ones where it's usually like play a few games and we'll just like introduce you slowly, like Nate Caddy last year. Instead of introducing players slowly, it's like, well, unfortunately, you are now a mainstay.
The captain.
You're now the captain.
You're the coach now.
Yeah, and Brad Scott said that it's hard not to be really frustrated, almost exasperated. It's just devastating seeing all of these players go down, particularly with the season ones, because that then goes into next year. So all of these, like Nick Martin doing his ACL, it's like, well, when are we going to see him next?
Do you think it's like Essendon, the DFO exit, right, as you're coming in from the airport, it's always backed up. Is there something about the pressure of that?
Maybe it's all the driving.
Because I feel that.
Stop-start traffic around the DFO.
Well, let's look into it.
Maybe that's it.
Essendon should be doing whatever they can.
Libby Birch did have a really good piece, I think, in The Age where she looked into she kind of
She comes from that
deep
world, doesn't
dove into the injury crisis that's happening because so Libby Birch is a 3-time premiership AFLW player for 3 different clubs, the only AFLW player to do that, and is, like most AFLW players, also a physio.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they all are, the physios and teachers. And she said that the injury toll isn't just bad, it really is unprecedented. And so when you have something like that, you do kind of have to be like, well, why? Like, what's going on? Because it's clearly not just bad luck. And you have some bad luck injuries, like Harry Jones' foot injury, if you remember that. That was oh my God, it was so bad. It looked like he snapped his ankle. The vision was horrific. And then it took like a quarter for the injury cart to come and pick him up. And so he was just sitting on the sidelines.
It looked like a break. But
yes.
But it was a dislocation.
Yeah, it was a really bad sprain, I think. It was so bad. So that's a bad luck injury. You're just not supposed to fall on your foot like that. But then you have all of these players like Langford who just continuously do soft tissue, and then it becomes a fitness issue. And so Libby kind of went into the questions that clubs like Essendon should really be asking in terms of, okay, well, like, was the physical preparation right? Like, what was the preseason program in terms of like how much gym did they do versus running? Were players hitting ideal training loads?
Yeah.
Were gym and running loads spiking together or far too long? Were key muscle groups overloaded or neglected? Like, there is a lot of questions that you can actually dig into instead of just being like, bummer, we have no players.
Yeah.
And then looking at, was the injury management effective of the players? Because it's so hard seeing Langford go like in and out.
I remember at the D's in our development 2012 years, it was the same. The more injuries breed injuries, I think.
Yes, definitely. And especially when you've got clubs like Collingwood where like recovery and all of that kind of strength and conditioning is making players like Sidebottom and Pendlebury look like they're 21.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Well, I do.
Goddamn, like I know, like they're going to play till they're 45, both of them. Yeah. Unstoppable, and they look as good as they've ever been. And 3 of them, it's Jamie Elliott, Sidebottom, and Pendlebury, but all look fit as hell. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, wasn't that stat that? Oh God, I'm gonna get it wrong. That like Nick Dacos was the youngest player bar one the other day. Yeah. And he was their best. Wow, what a surprise. So yeah, and I just can imagine that because I also very much like that Libby ended the piece. That's not to say that any of this is the case at Essendon in terms of like resource problems. She's just throwing the hypothetical questions that the club should be asking when it comes to this kind of injury woes, and to say that it's not necessarily the case at what's going on at Essendon, but a review will provide all those answers. But in today's AFL environment, high performance and medical programs are seen as competitive advantages, like they're so crucial to premierships. And if those become liabilities, players and their agents will notice. And it does make me so scared because it must be so frustrating for the players that are getting injured, but for also the players around them. It must be so maddening. I
mean, this year is a time to get it right as well. If you are rebuilding, rebuild everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, were they even in a rebuild before they started getting all these injuries? Who knows?
Yes.
Were they?
I think, didn't he? Because they extended his contract at the start of the year, and the vibe
It's like quietly.
this year's not going to really be dependent on your long-term work here. Anyway.
Do dogs take Gaveston?
I think he should. Something's wrong with his tum.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Listeners, if you can't hear, the doggy's making a lot of noises.
Yeah,
It's very
dog's
cute.
just hungry.
Little noises. But also, I was going to chime in when you were like, I'm going to get this fact wrong and be like Paddy and be like, oh, it's this. But I was just going to definitively say what I just guessed.
Because Paddy's our facts person.
Yeah,
and you were
Paddy
just,
knows the facts. And I'd just be like, oh, yeah, 50.
That's good. I like
Yeah,
it.
do you want that? Do you want that help too?
What else?
Did you see this? Cyril Rioli will pull on the boots again for a match at I'm trying to get out of the habit of saying Marvel just because I need to say Docklands. Yeah. Cyril Rioli will put on the boots again for a match at Docklands when he plays for the All-Stars against Victoria in the Return of the Legends match this year. This charity match held to raise awareness and funds for prostate cancer through the Australian Prostate Centre, and it is returning after 6 years. So that match will take place on Thursday, August 28. Let's put it right when AFLW starts and we're running to men's finals. Like, let's just give W the most clean air as we possibly can. Anyways, Geelong great Gary Ablett Jr. will also play for Victoria.
Really?
Rioli, who's obviously kept his distance from the AFL since his retirement in 2018, he has been seen in and around the AFL world. He was at Sir Doug Nicholls' round for the Hawks match against Gold Coast, and watching how much fans just enjoyed seeing him in the crowd and just seeing him amongst the AFL community. I think this will mean a lot to a lot of people, just having him back in the fold.
Cyril and Gary Ablett Jr. will both be still very good.
You'd think, yeah.
And Nick Riewold's playing and Luke Hodges playing and Shane Crawford will be no good. But the thing that fascinated me when I saw this...
Can they play for Essendon?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, some of them... Well, Cyril, absolutely. What's fascinating me about this is I remember it growing up as the E.J. Witten Legends match. Yeah. And this is the 4-20 Legends game. So I don't even... it seems to be raising money for the same organisation in that it's the Australian Prostate Centre. But... they've clearly gone, we're fully rebranding it. And it was obviously always built around this love around Teddy Whitten. So I thought that's really interesting. But it did, we talked about it the other week, it did die a very slow, weird death of this game every year, where it ended up at Amy Park on a rectangle stadium.
That's mad.
Because they were so worried about no one showing up. Pickett Palace played. Yeah. Anthony McDonald, Tip and Morty.
Good at footy.
To an empty stand, they said. And no one, it ended. So looks like they've got good names to and also I think Riewoldt will actually still be very good. That man's an incredible nick, but I don't want to get any ideas of him playing again. That's fascinating. Worst possible time though. Worst possible time.
Oh yeah, but even that, just so much of it is around the theatre of it and selling it. And I genuinely believe that if it was sold correctly to the public, then they would sell it out.
Yes. What else is going on?
Jack Graham banned for 4 matches over highly offensive homophobic slur. So this happened what feels like 5 months ago, because by the time I come in on a Wednesday, things that happened over the weekend feel so forever ago. But I did, and I was almost not going to touch this, but then I kept seeing something on TikTok that kept making me annoyed. So I will be talking about it. And we talked about it a lot last year when there were the 4 incidents. So 3 players were banned, and every time a player got banned there, it increased. So it started off. Jeremy Finlayson, Will Powell, Lance Collard. Jeremy Lee Finlayson must have been the first one then.
Yep.
But yes, so the slur that Graham used was the same homophobic slur that Powell used, and he was banned for 5 matches.
Okay.
Graham was banned for 4 because it was self-reported. So he said the slur against a GWS opponent, and the GWS opponents, the GWS players obviously heard it. So GWS knew it happened. West Coast Eagles knew it happened. They just assumed that the AFL therefore would have known. But because it was self-reported, just got 4 weeks instead of 5. And so that's kind of like a discount. I don't like using that word, but discount in penalty. And as we talked about when this happened, last year, it does feel like a reflection of a wider footy problem and culture, because that word isn't coming out of players' mouths unless it's being used in the environments that they're within. Like that, it's hard for me to even say in my head because it's just not within my environment at all. And so it's so jarring when I hear it that I can't imagine it actually coming out of my mouth. That, even like the heat of like a match, it would only come out if it's in the being used in the environment that you're in. And we do know that there's all of those statistics that show that young LGBTQIA plus people are being driven away from sport because of the homophobia. I mean, it was the Swinburne University had a study last year, the Free to Exist report, and out of the 500 people they surveyed, more than half had witnessed queerphobia, so homophobia, biphobia of some kind, and 40% had experienced it firsthand. So we know that it's literally keeping people, particularly young men, out of sport. And I think that a big part of that is that not just that the slows are happening, but it's the reaction to them. Like the amount of commentary online that I saw in regards to this band being around the gist of AFL's gone soft. And so it's all of the young gay men and queer people seeing all of that commentary and being like, oh yeah, this world doesn't actually have my back. It's not a safe place for me to exist in. And then the thing that I just feel really uncomfortable about is all of the TikToks that are like, well, I know there's gay men out there because I've slept with them. Like, it's a lot of people being like, I've seen players hooking up at clubs or bars, or I myself have hooked up with players at clubs or bars. People making TikToks like that, but leaving the comment sections, and like, fine, whatever, but leaving the comment sections open. So the comment sections are all just speculating, and some get so many likes, and it's just player names. That is such an unsafe thing to do. And if you're part of the LGBTQI community, I think that you should know better. Yeah. Like, it makes me scared genuinely for these people.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. I've never heard that perspective as well. Yeah, like you do see that a lot, and a lot of, that's not your story really to tell, is it?
Yeah.
Whether you think you're doing it for the right reasons or not, it's not your story to tell.
And because there's like so many names now that everyone just knows, and they think that they're so correct because they're the names that always kept getting brought up. It's like, you have no idea. And also, if they're not publicly out, there's probably a good reason for that.
Yes, and it's because people it's still happening every week.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that the other thing you're going to talk about is going to be that you might bring up. There's a responsibility for, I think, more and more for platforms to be held accountable for the way that people behave on them. And none of them are doing what they've said that they will do, whether that's Instagram, YouTube. I love YouTube. Actually, great as we stream live on it. But TikTok in particular. But all of them need to. The fact that people can just make an account and say whatever they want, and there's no way of tracking that down or holding any accountability, it's just purely wrong. It's insane.
And well, it's also, these platforms want it. Like, it's a great business model because anything that is highly offensive gets more engagement. It's like, what do you think's putting more money in their pockets? Like, they love it. It's horrific, but like they're not going, like, platforms aren't going to try and weed out.
There's no interest in making it harder for people to comment and to be engaged on the platform. There's no, until it's made that they must, which is surely down the track that's going to have to be the way, because no one likes it. It hurts, it genuinely damages people. But yeah, no, well said.
But what I think you were starting to touch on, and to add more context, is the AFL is also investigating this week racist comments directed at St Kilda's Nazaya Wanganeen Millera and Port Adelaide's Jace Burgoyne on social media after they both publicly put out some of the racism that has been directed their way, and really abhorrent stuff. And I almost had to catch myself a little bit this week, I think, because I saw that this had happened, and I was kind of like, like, I wasn't surprised.
No.
And so I think the shock factor kind of, like, I'm just so cautious of not being desensitized to how bad it actually feels to be on the receiving end of this, just because we almost accept it as part and parcel of the society that we live in when we absolutely shouldn't. And I remember being on the phone to someone from Saints the day that they were really tackling the Nazaya stuff, and it almost felt like there was like a sense of grief at the club, because this is like a player that is like they love. Like he's one of them. So it's not even just like we shouldn't be racist and racism is bad and these things are abhorrent, but it's happening to someone and you're seeing the effects of it happening to someone that you truly care about is like, it's horrific.
Yeah, 100%. It's and I saw as well the Eddie Betts Foundation talking about that he's well, people come to him for an answer on this and how many times he's had to talk about this. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be his responsibility every time someone does this to have to be the person who has to talk about this. Like the weight of that all of these young guys have to carry and young women as well have to carry is unnecessary, or it should be unnecessary.
Yeah, other people should absolutely be doing like lifting, doing the heavy work for them because they're already carrying so much. Yeah, and I think that the Eddie Betts Foundation had that post that was like, this is not an AFL problem, this is an Australia problem. And yeah, because I do feel like sport is a microcosm of society. And at times, the worst parts really get put on show. But it is like a corner of the Australian society that we're seeing, and a really abhorrent one that we shouldn't just ignore as well. Okay, well, those are the bad apples. Like, no, this is something that is affecting us and our community. Another area of it that I'd love to talk about is how often it seems to be for these dead shits, the triggering is you ruined my multi or you didn't hit like, that's fucking disgusting. Like, what a piece of shit you must be for that to be the trigger for you to go and say this shit. Like, how bad must your life be? But then also, just put your name to it, mate. That's my thing. Put your photo up, put your name to it. Yeah, put your name to it and your face. Yes, I saw, I really wish I knew the reporter. Oh, I'm so sorry. A reporter in Adelaide put on social media that Burgoyne was looking at potential police action. Oh, yeah. It's like, yes, do that. 100%. It's like, yes, we have your back in that. And also to any First Nations people that are listening and have been hurt this week, our love to you, because fuck that. 100%. It also feels like we cannot miss talking about the Tribunal this week because it is, as a lot of people have labelled it, what a fast. I hope that the Snitz chips were hot and well salted for David Zita. Poor thing. So I don't know if you followed the Adam Cherra stuff. No, but bumping into the umpire going backwards into an umpire, yeah? Yes. And so he was fined for umpire contact, and then Carlton wanted to see the fine revoked? Decreased. Yep, okay. I'm just going to read. So Gerard Whateley had some great stuff on AFL 316. He said that he's covered Tribunal since he was a junior reporter, and he has seen the whole gambit from players blatantly lying to biochemists inventing fanciful stories and character submissions from prime ministers. However, and I quote, "Tonight the AFL has reached new levels of high farce as they quibbled over $1,250 with a panel of lawyers who will shortly be billed $30,000. Yeah. So Adam walked away from Tuesday night's hearing with a $5,500 fine, which is $125 closer to what the Blues hoped. So the AFL, so the figure that the AFL wanted was $6,125. So they just continuously went back and forth. The sanction was $750 less than he could have received had the league got his way. Right. So so they just had all of these really high paying lawyers wasting not only their time but like Zeta's, like all of these journalists' time over $1,250. Maddening. The other thing that you enlightened me to is it's tax deductible. Yeah. So he can claim $5,500 on tax. Yep. But people who wear bra protection or things like that in games can't tax deduct them. Very nice. Yes. What crock of shit that is. What the hell? Yeah. So Beck, the thing is like badly fitting sports bras actually really impede on performance for female athletes, particularly like netballers. Yeah, like it's really painful and discomfort.
It's uncomfortable. You're thinking about it. Like, that makes perfect sense.
And they don't get bra fitters into clubs, even for like the national team. Like, so all of these athletes have to go and do all of this on their own time, but also it can be quite expensive, and they're not tax deductible. Whereas if you get fined in a football game for punching an umpire in the face, you can claim that on tax.
That should be like here as well.
Well, It's.
I don't know how we would institute
You want to punch
that.
an umpire here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, get him out of here. I don't know.
It makes no sense, but it is perfectly in line with the ATO as I know them. But go on. Yes, please.
And then also, I loved over the weekend all of these different footy shows speculating on where's Cadman going to go and who's going to pick Cadman up. And then GWS, I felt like so happy for them that they could put out being like, well, we got him. He signed for 4 years.
Did he?
Yes, he signed with GWS for 4 years. I love this. So he's there to the end of 2030.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Isn't
for them.
that sick?
Why would you leave? I think they're so well set up. That's great for them.
And from the brief conversations that I've had with him, I think he enjoys just being in Sydney with his girlfriend and being able to just enjoy a relatively normal life, but then just like star in the games.
Yeah. But Marnie, what is a life without the grid? Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Sydney, living in Sydney with roads that make no sense is no life at all. The grid is what makes life work. And that's what people in Melbourne understand, and Adelaide. And
I was going to do a slow clap stand.
I would be a wreck. Yeah, Beck is standing and applauding. Thank you so much, Beck.
The grid.
Great. Yes, congratulations to GWS. And that's our news?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, great. That was a great mix of very, very serious things that need to be addressed, but also lovely news and $500 off on a fine.
Oh my goodness. Isn't it just, it's just, yeah. The like seriousness that the AFL Tribunal takes itself is so comical.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, you can never tip to that, but what you can do is tip the footy in a segment we call Tipping. Beautiful segue from me. Flawless even.
I love everything.
Tipping. Tipping.
Beck, you're not here every week, but those kind of beautiful, creative segues are pretty common here, just so you know.
It's actually what I miss.
Yeah.
It's what makes me sad about not being here more regularly, to just hear you weave a podcast together with words.
Thank you. That's what they call me. They call me the Weaver.
They do.
The Weevil from Pokemon. We now start the Festival of Essendon for the remainder of the year, where Essendon will be playing prime time with people they find in Moonee Ponds for the remainder of the games. Starting Thursday night at the Docklands with Essendon versus GWS with the recently re-signed Cadman, who will be there till 2030, I've heard recently. 7% are tipping Essendon, which
Ambitious.
I think is really, like, that's a large portion of the Bombers community just going, we're going down with the ship, we're playing down with the Titanic. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, someone from Essendon Football Club did text me this week, being like, Marnie, keep the faith. And I was like, are you joking?
Keep the faith.
Have you seen the club? Yeah, I think I'm just going to be all in on GWS from now on. I want to see them get their first premiership. Essendon, who?
Yeah.
Nah, I'll be there. But it's one of those games where it's just like, you cheer the goals like they're wins.
Yeah, and I'm performing at the same time that this is on. And so I'm rapt that I'm not missing.
What do you think is going to be a bigger comedy?
Definitely not me. But tragedy, maybe, yes. It'll be what will be a bigger tragedy, Essendon or thank you everyone who came to Ballarat the other night. It was very cold, but a nice time. And then Friday, this one is actually fascinating. At the Gabba, Brisbane Lions with their exit row coach taking on the Western Bulldogs with Luke Beveridge, who had a very spicy press conference today. Did you go to this today?
I did not. I saw the comments. He said, well, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah,
and
he works at Channel 7, referencing Kano. But, you know, that's a bit of fun. He said it very cool. He's got aura. Is it fair to say he's aura farming, Marnie?
Yeah. Do you like the term aura farming?
Marnie, I got a story. I was walking to my show in Brisbane on the weekend. I'm walking to my show, and a boy on a bike, like a boy, 15, and his little brother or his other cool little friend, come up to me and go, I like your shirt, bro. And I went, oh, thank you. And he went, it's farming aura, man. That guy's aura farming. And
I bet he doesn't know what Gaviscon is.
No, he doesn't. He will, though. It comes for everyone who eats spicy food or too much fizzy.
Did you enjoy that?
I was like, yeah, Marnie says I'm old, but she's wrong, is what I thought. And then I went out and did an okay show. How did we get here? All right.
So also someone in the comments says Marnie needs an Amy rev up. Can I have a rev up, please?
Yes, the sponsorship has ended, but we can do
I
one.
can just, I'll have a
non-sponsored one.
I'll have a Marnie, no, Amy Marnie don't rhyme. Never mind. I'll have a rev up, please.
Yes. Get in there, mate. Good job. Get stuffed. But also, if you want to be a real rev up, you have to.
Feel better.
I have to ring you 9 times and you not answer. That's become the thing that I've had to learn. Particularly Debbie. The other day, I can't stress how many times I called Debbie, and I'm ringing Debbie's kid, and they're saying, "Yeah, I told her," and never answered. Taylor, I think their name was.
Speaking of Taylor, I think Sam Taylor might be back as well, so that helps Essendon.
Yes. Oh, what I'll say about Essendon. So yes. So this is where it truly is for Essendon. Why it is actually exciting is because for a long time there's been this misery, this melancholy from that era that we all know about, which we don't need to talk about anymore. There is now, for the first time, genuine stability and genuinely stars coming in at the exact right time. Everyone's going about it in a calm, normal way. They're drafting the right players, and everything's going to be great. It's my favorite memories as watching my football team are the years where you start to see the progression. So much better than going to the games and expecting you to win every week. It's when your team's actually building money that's great. And also, Nanscorn, too good. Coming soon. Ben Brown's there too. They're gonna rise quicker than the boys, and it's gonna be sick. So get excited, red and black. And we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that exit. We're gonna fix the DFO exit.
That one I know about. I think there should be a bridge on top of the bridge.
No, they need
a double bridge.
There was a big sign that fell on someone as soon as they put the sign up, and they won a lot of money in a legal battle.
Oh, I know. I've been driving under signs, hoping. Ever since.
But Brisbane and Western Bulldogs, they're only 7%. So the same amount of people are tipping the Doggies against Brisbane as people are tipping Essendon against GWS.
I love football. It's so silly.
Yeah.
We're all mad.
But no, I think a lot of people last weekend genuinely lost faith in the Dogs because they had the Crows at Marvel and they just didn't bring it. And they should have been a lot closer than they were. So I feel like...
Crows are really good though.
Crows apparently are really good. Yes, but Dogs are also supposed to be really good. Like, they're in the 9 that are supposed to be contending, and everyone all year's been like, I think they're good. But now as we sit here, they are not good. They've never showed up against top 8 teams when they needed to, and they've got gun players everywhere. They haven't been in all year, but when push comes to shove at these moments, they haven't had a big win. And yeah, I think there's a reason 7% people are tipping this, which I can't explain for the Essendon one, but for this one, like, Brizzy will win this. They're making a good push. Do you agree?
Yeah.
And then Saturday at UTAS, my favourite stadium, Port versus Hawthorn. During the day, a much better idea, I must say.
Less people have tipped Port than tipped Essendon.
Yes, it's 6% Port Adelaide, who got a scare from West Coast last week, but I think we'll be without Horn. No, I'm completely off. I was going to say Horn Francis is out, and that's just wrong. Hawks will beat them, I think. Do you agree? SCG, Sydney North. Love this game.
Luke Parker Cup.
The Luke Parker Cup. Who else? I'm trying to think about some other crossover players. Can't think of any others.
Don't think so.
Swannies will pump North, I think.
You'd hope.
Then
The
Saturday.
Swannies are staying in there. If they can win their next, how many left? 5?
All of them.
Yeah, but how many games are left? 5? Anyway.
5 or 6. Yeah. Then they will play finals, or could play finals. Then the Battle of the Titans, the grand final preview, Carlton versus Melbourne at the MCG. These two teams, Beck, are both underperformers. Who are you I would love to know who you think will win this game.
Melbourne.
Really?
Yeah. I think that Carlton have been, I don't want to use the term bashed around, but physically and also mentally. I think that it's a hard time, at Carlton at the moment.
They look defeated at the moment.
Yes, because even like their leaders are like a bit slumpy shouldery. It's not, yeah.
Thank you, Marnie. I agree with you. I think the D's will win, which is the reason that Carlton will win. Also Saturday night, Eagles and Richmond, which is also kind of interesting because
Yeah, so West Coast have locked in the wooden spoon now.
Have they?
Yeah, well, after Richmond beat Essendon. Good job.
Was that the one that I've seen the TikTok clips of?
yes,
Did
Yep.
Richmond win that?
Yes.
Sorry, I mean good. Good job, my team. Yay!
that's right. So Richmond this year, 4, 8, 12, 16, have won 4 games, which at the start of the year people thought they will be the first team that goes through and doesn't win a game. So good on them. Genuinely, so good. I think West Coast will have a big, glorious win here.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I guess it is over in Perth. And you know what? For Casey Simons, I'll go West Coast. I would
on
like
you.
to see her happy and tipsy on my timeline celebrating her Eagles win.
Fandom, doctor, expert, lecturer, Dr. Casey Simons.
Yes, but she's been doing on her social media, like, just kind of like live reacting with games, and she'd be like 3/4 time with a glass of wine being like, I'm feeling hopeful. And then never actually winning.
They, I think Champion Data said that Harley Reid in the last few weeks has been the worst performing player in the AFL because he's so inefficient with the ball, which is fascinating. Well, you would love him at the Bombers though, surely.
Yeah, also he's like, how old is he now? 19?
I think he's
20?
Yeah, not even like, around there.
Like, it's so unfair to put that much pressure on a second year, right? Second year player. It's crazy. I also saw a stat on Twitter, so verified, correct. No, actually, I'm not sure where this came from, but that he's broken 34 tackles, which is the most out of any player.
And that's correct. I'm being Paddy.
Yeah,
That
thank you,
is
Paddy.
verified. TikTok told me.
Great. You're going to go Richmond?
Yeah, why not? No, I'm going West Coast. I want to see Casey happy.
Hell yeah. Geelong and St Kilda. 2% of people are tipping St Kilda. It's a GMHBA. Geelong actually will win this, but Saints beat them or got very close this year or last year?
Oh.
Last year.
This year.
No, I think you're wrong.
Don't listen to me. No, don't listen to me.
Yeah, I think everyone's tipping Geelong to win this. I think that makes sense. But Saints are showing up in these games now. What do you think?
Yeah, they lost to Sydney by only a goal, and Geelong lost to GWS. And also, when the game got away from Geelong, it just got away from them. They were not even like an inch back in there.
Yeah, fascinating. I'm going to go Cats though. But yeah, and then this game is not tipped correctly. In 6%, only 6% of people are tipping Fremantle against Collingwood. Now, Collingwood will win this probably, but Fremantle should be coming over here like flag in the sand.
Yeah. Brayshaw with all these stitches in his head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, big hole. It was a big hole.
It was a giant. Yeah, so there was a player, Beck, Andy Brayshaw, whose head just got split open, and it was at the very end of the game. But then they interviewed him on TV with just blood gushing out of his head. And then they also put on social media him, like, they staple it shut?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty gnarly.
I mean, that's cool though.
Yeah.
Like that reminds me, it's very like in primary school, like a kid, like that's when you know that that's a cool kid. Oh yeah. Yeah, I split my head open. I'm still going to get on my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The friends I know who have their heads stapled has diminished as I've gotten older,
Yeah.
as a general rule.
I don't know any. Oh, one of my friends.
One of your friends had some staples.
Yeah, but it's one of those times as well where I'm just like, I could not be a footy player. Not for me.
No, the staples, not for me. And are you tipping Collingwood?
Yep.
Yeah, but
I'll
I
be
think
going to this.
you'll be going Sunday afternoon at the
Yeah.
G. Should
Hopefully
be a good game.
it's sunny.
I think we'll get a look at a few teams who are up there on Sunday. So Geelong, should win. Collingwood and Fremantle should be tight. And then the last game of the round, Crows versus Suns at Adelaide Oval.
Ooh, spicy. I love.
Match of the round.
Yeah.
Most people are tipping Crows, and I think that makes sense purely because Suns just had such a climax win last week. Climax, weird word to say. I shouldn't have said that. I need some Gaviscon.
I think that's all right.
It was such a culmination is what I meant to say.
Oh.
And I think they might have an emotional drop-off from that. But Crows are on a tear now. Whoever wins this feels incredible.
I love watching the Crows play at the moment.
Yeah. Ben Key's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. He has the best goals, even goals that aren't goals.
Yeah, best points.
Best points. There was a goal he had recently that was just fabulous, and it was clearly touched, but the score review deemed that it was not touched, even though we could all see with our eyeballs the vision in front
Who
of us.
was it against, Marnie?
It was against Melbourne Football Club.
Because we're robbed.
Well, you wouldn't have won it
You know
with
what?
that goal.
The AFL is Sandful. That's what it is. It's the South Australian Football League. Do you know Sandful, South Australian National Football League?
Don't like that.
What does that mean?
I love that. That's got a real... Oh.
It should be SAFL. It can't be Victorian
One of my
National
favourite
Football.
things is when people troll me about W, but they just slam the waffle by accident,
Yeah.
the West Australian Football League. They'll often be like, oh, the waffle's rubbish. No, who wants to watch that? I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, leave Claremont alone.
Yeah. Leave Perth out of this.
Yeah. They're like, hey, we got minerals to mine. Leave us alone. Yeah, I'm tipping Crows, but I think Suns could definitely win it. But I can't wait to see who wins at TBH.
How exciting. Oh, I wish. Tom, if you're still here, can you
He's
tell
there.
us who you're tipping for this?
Yeah, put it in the
Are you
chat.
going to back your boys?
I look at the time and I realise we might have to start late because we can't start while this game is on because it's going to be game of the round potentially.
Late night record.
Yeah.
Get some Maccas.
Yeah. Poor old Paddy and Tom though, just on... I haven't heard from Paddy. I worry for him. But he works too hard. He's always commentating all the games and he's running around and he's making the TikToks. And
Yeah.
But we hope them all better. He is tipping the Suns. Tom is tipping the Suns. Wow. I don't know. He says read up. I don't know.
I can't. Where's his comment?
We're hosting. He's called Godwolf Music.
Oh.
So Godwolf was his passion project that he made with my friend Joe Koski. And
Good music.
yeah, very good music. And he's kept the login for that beautiful band.
You plugged yourself in and now we're getting an...
I was going to play some Godwolf, but I'll turn it off.
No, we can't though.
Well, there's the tips, everyone. It feels crazy because we've had buys so much, but it feels like there's so many games.
Yeah.
9 is so many.
AFLW Pracky, the scratch matches and stuff start next week.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, Marnie's doing some guns in the air, like a cow
Also, 'cause
girl.
I am very interested to see. I don't know whether you've been paying attention to the VFLW, Beck. I'm sure that you know what's been going on there very well. But Carlton have been playing a lot of their AFLW girls in. Well, sorry, Carlton have been playing a lot of their AFLW players in the VFLW. And Carlton, I'm just going to get the score up because it was just one of those ones where I was like, oh no, I hope this is not a reflection of what's to come.
Yeah, but did you do an interview at Icon the other day with some of the Carlton people?
Yeah, okay, so Carlton won 96 to the Bulldogs 9.
Oh
Whoa!
my goodness.
That's almost 69 is in there, which is an omen that Carlton are going to win. That's
Yeah.
great for Carlton.
It's
because
really, I have a very soft spot for every single AFLW team, actually. I was going to say I have a soft spot for Carlton, thinking about like Mimi and
totally.
Darcy, but then I was like, oh, but I love the doggy girls as well.
it's good for the economy when Carlton win, W or the men's, doesn't matter.
And also Essendon, it's good when they win too.
Yes, I mean that would be great for everyone.
Lygon Street Pizza, DFO.
Oh, can I
Everyone's
give
gone to the
you,
DFO in Essendon? Is that why it's good?
There's an El Janner over there now as well, which is great.
Can I give you a Richmond AFLW player to watch for the season?
Yes, please.
You should watch Paige Scott. So they came from Essendon, but they were like one of my absolute favourite players to watch at Essendon.
So
and
from your
they
team to my team. Okay.
they delisted themselves from Essendon because
Really?
they would rather be picked up in the draft than have to play for my stupid club. No, that is not necessarily the reason. They knew that they were going to be picked up by Richmond, but they delisted themselves at the end of last season because a trade couldn't get done, and then Richmond picked them up in the draft.
Hell yeah.
And they were really good, like a bash and crash player,
Fashion crash.
but and has really good moments, like very good mucks.
I think if I had a body that worked, I would love to be that sort of player. That's the sort
Fashion
of player
crash.
I love. I love it. Getting in there.
You should be in our next kick to kick video.
I would be in it for a second and then fall apart.
Money.
It would end when my body all cracked into pieces. I turned to dust.
Yeah, but think about the content, Beck. Think
Yeah.
about what that would do for our numbers.
For once, think of the content.
God.
Okay,
Beck.
I'll think of the content. All right, I'll smash a win.
Have a listen to my chat with Scout Boxall for 2 other sports I reckon you would love. One being roller derby,
Oh yeah.
but then also a LARPing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have the swords. I have it all. I just don't do anything.
You're wearing a barbed wire necklace as we sit here,
I'm
so
ready
you're
to go
hardcore.
out there. Also, I thought you were gonna say slam ball, which is my favorite.
Slam ball?
Slam ball.
As in the trampoline basketball?
Yeah.
That is
That
sick.
is good that you knew exactly what it was too. Wow.
That's my next podcast, the Slam Ball with
Slam
Broden
ball
Kelly.
podcast.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Marnie, great stuff. We carried it. We did it without the people.
Yeah. I was going to say we don't need Tom and Paddy. Then I was like, no, that's mean and I miss them and I hope they're well. I hope they're resting and having lots of tea.
And vitamin C.
And vitamin C.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Bounce that pill. Bye. And thank you, everyone, for watching along. It's so lovely to see you all here engaging in the comments, and particularly this Godwolf music guy. Can you tax write off a new roof if you make content of Marnie destroying it? Look at that. Frame that comment.
That would be great.
Put on the wall. Diff body.
That ceiling was really hard to put in. It's a vaulted ceiling.
Oh.
It was more expensive.
Might have
And
the
let's
roof
get
on
rid
it.
of it.
I'd love to get on the roof. I don't know if you've ever mentioned that.
If you kicked a footy off the roof, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But I could. I know where the hole is. There's a hole in my office.
Yeah, I know. We put it in your office.
Yeah.
We thought about that.
I've been on the roof. Thank you, everyone. Lucy's in the chat as well. Thank you, mate. Thank you for getting the lights for us. Have a great week, everyone. We're out of here. Speak soon. Bye. Bounce pill. Bye. Football.
Bye.